Hi. Thanks for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a great show so far, looking at all the demos. The movement of freight and assets has become increasingly complex and dynamic in today's world, which is causing shippers and carriers to go ahead and require automated visibility into real-time conditions and driver behavior, which get factored into the ETA calculations. Our platform, Trimble Maps, provides exactly that functionality for you to be able to successful in today's world. I'll be demonstrating today some solutions that we have built using the platform's web and mobile APIs to manage the movement of freight, get insight into it through its entire life cycle. Now, how is this different? This is different because unlike any other consumer platform that you have in the industry, which offers stateless RESTful web services and calls into the system, we offer services that provide state so that you have information and visibility right from the planning, execution, and analysis of the whole freight movement through the entire life cycle. So to demonstrate that functionality today, let us look at a sample demonstration built up. I'm going to assume we're working for Jameson Logistics out here. This is all just a mock-up because what we offer is a platform to build your solutions on. Jameson Logistics has few freight movements that need to be taking place. It has a freight that goes out right here from East Point, Georgia, to be moved all the way across the country over into Phoenix. We could look into where this freight's originating from. It's coming out right out here from an Amazon distribution center, and it goes to another Amazon distribution center all the way on the other coast. We have a few drivers that are available. We can look at the visibility of the drivers getting in their hours of service log. So myself just flew in from the flight last night and have fully rested. My truck's parked right outside. As you entered the convention center, you would have seen that. I'm ready to pick this load up. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to just modify slight variations in this load. I'm going to move this load from 350 pickup. I'm going to have it arrive in the window at 6 a.m. I'm going to assign this load to myself to be able to transit this load. What happens when I do the assignment, the load is sent back into our trip management servers, and you would see it shows you the display of the route path. What is different in this route line? You would see a bunch of stops added in. This is where the driver is supposed to be taking their breaks. First point of differentiation, it just does not take average travel speeds into consideration. It sees how many hours the driver has available, factors that in to give you a revised ETA, and tells you right now the driver is going to reach at 5:32. There's additional information that you can use from the platform. You've seen the weather radar on the screen right now. You can add in the weather alerts to see there's flooding occurring, and the driver would get impacted by that. Our platform takes into consideration the traffic as well as the weather events to predict the best ETA in combination with the hours of service. But we don't just stop there. We switch over to this load, which should have come into the driver. So now I'm going to put on my driver hat and go into my application for Jameson Logistics and sign in. I'm going to wait with the hours showing me how many hours availability I have. I get the message that a new load has been planned for me. It's again communicating back to our Trimble Maps platform and picking up this information. Shows I'm supposed to pick up the load, and it also shows me my recommended breaks. I, as a driver, might not like those breaks. So we have a complete new offering for the drivers to be able to go in, look at that same trip plan, and visualize and pick up your own custom stops in here. You'll notice the driver also has the exact same visibility to the trip what the dispatcher in the back office did. If they bring up their map view, they're able to see the same weather alert shown on the map. It is also indicated to the driver beforehand that there's a weather alert which will impact his or her trip. As a driver planning this trip, I'm not going to drive from 312 all the way to 958 without taking a break. So I'm going to go in and enter and try to find out appropriate rest areas along my route path, which was determined. So I go into the route path system. I see it would be a good time for me to grab a quick bite early to eat. There's a Petro, 150 miles out, might be too far out. Let me look for something else closer by if there's one. And scroll down out here. I might stop at this TA Lincoln. It shows me there's some parking availability out there. I like that. I've been there in the past. I'm going to assign that as a break stop into the system. So you have the driver interaction coming in, where the driver puts that in as a break stop, puts it in as a 1-hour break location, looks at the amenity information, and saves that stop in here. Once the stop has been saved, all the other stops are recalculated for the driver, and that trip is also kept in sync in the back office. So when I sync up the back office system out here, let me turn off the weather alerts for a second, you can see the new stop added, which was the TA that I picked up currently. There's another 10-hour break, which I'm going to switch over and insert a new break, because along this route path, I'm going to take an extended break for 11 hours, all the way down at TA Earl, around 270 miles drive time. This would give me my 10-hour recommended break. It would get me in compliance with the full system. And I'm going to save that to my stop. I've made all the modifications to my trip, but if you notice, what has ended up happening is there's a late notification. The back office dispatcher already noticed, based on how I'm planning my trip, I'm going to be late. So that is the constant communication that keeps happening back and forth. If I exit out of this plan out here, I can go in and then press navigation and launch my Copilot navigation solution to get voice guidance to the next appropriate stop. Once I start doing that, from a navigation experience, I would get back my GPS information coming in, so I could zoom in into the stop location and get the details how I'm transiting out. So there would be route path shown for me. You would see GPS visibility coming in there. Another thing to note is we provide a link to the entire trip, so you can share it out with others who are just interested in the load itself and not from an overall perspective to manage the trip, and they can go and track the visibility of this load real time. I encourage you to stop by the exhibit hall, come see this full demo in action. Have any questions? Happy to answer that out there for you. Thank you.